What is the system of feudalism? The system of feudalism, kings gave land to noblemen, and noblemen have give military service. We call this area or this period, sorry, the transition between ancient and modern. It is called the medieval age. So please, before I go further, I will ask questions to make sure that you understand. The first question is, who are the early people of Western Europe? Yes, Hannah?
The Roman Empire.
Before the Roman Empire was early people. What was?
The hunters and farmers.
Yes, thank you very much. After that came an age which is called the Bronze Age. Why? Who can tell me? Farah Mahlab.
Okay. They discovered the bronze by melting and fusing the tin and copper together,
Yes,
and this was called as smelting.
Smelting. Thank you very much. After that came the Roman Empire. The Roman came and have spread all over Western Europe. Then they were a little bit weak. Why? Who came and tried to invade them? Who can tell me? Uta. Uta.
Hello.
Good morning, Uta.
Seconds.
Tell me, why was the Roman Empire a little bit weak at this time?
Which time?
Which time? We were talking about discovering or the Bronze Age, that the Roman Empire came and invade the area. Then they were weak a little bit because of tribes. What are the name of these tribes? Who can tell me?
حسب اللي أنا فهمته إن هو كانوا weak من المسلمز لما كانوا بيفايتوا بعض.
This is later on, but I'm talking now about the area before Islam. Yes, Hannah. طب listen, Uta, please.
تمام.
Yes, Hannah.
The Germanic people.
Yes, Germanic people came and they made the empire a little bit weak. Then the Roman Empire has been strong again because of what? Which religion has came and spread all over the country? Hannah Hani.
Christianity.
Yes, and when
Christianity spread over, and the Catholic Church had played a role in the education.
Yes. So when Christianity came, the Roman Church has all the power. What was the role? What was the role of the church? The role of the church, it has two roles. What are they?
Education and religion.
Yes, education part, religion part, and also to restore order, After that, after restoring order or preserving the order, as time went, invaders threatened the region again. Why invaders threatened the region? There was many reasons. Okay, someone can tell me, or I start back from this part? Hannah, can you tell me why invaders came and threatened the area?
Yes, because the government was weak.
Yes.
And there was the feudalism system.
Thank you very much. There was the system of feudalism, which is, what's meant by the system of feudalism? Kings
gave land to nobles, and nobles gave military services to kings.
What do we call this period now? We call this period
the Middle Age, or the Medieval Age.
Medieval Age, which is transition between ancient and modern. Let's move back to another part. After the church has all the power and Christianity has all the power, or the most important ritual in the medieval, actually in the medieval age, the most important rituals, I mean the most important ceremony was the pilgrimage. What's meant by pilgrimage? Who can tell me? From the session, who can tell me what's meant by this? Please raise hands because I can't see you because I'm sharing the screen. What's meant by this point, pilgrimage? Bomika, I have Bomika, I have Uta, I have Sama. Farah Mahlab, okay.
It's a religious thing that Muslims and Christians do.
Thank you very much, Farah. Yes, it's a religious ceremony that is done by both Christians and Muslims. Actually, here we are talking about the Christian part. They are doing pilgrimage in which place? Who can tell me which place?
Muslims or Christians?
No, Christians, because I'm talking
I
here about the history of Romans.
know it.
Yes, yeah, Adham.
Jerusalem.
Yes, Jerusalem. They go there and they visit the place. It was center because it was the center of Christianity. In the late of the year 100, Muslims controlled the city. So Christians used to go every year there to do their pilgrimage. But actually, here came the Islam in North Africa. Forget about Europe now. Islam came to start in Africa and started to reach Europe. This was the beginning of Islam's spreading out. So Muslims has controlled the city of Jerusalem. So now we want Christians are not comfortable with having Muslims inside. At the same time, at the same time, the city was a center of trade. So kings sent a great armies to conquer Jerusalem for Christianity. They were called the Crusades. They were called Crusades. So what's meant by Crusades? Or who are the Crusades? Who are the Crusades? Who can tell me? Farah, you're raising your hand. You remember who are the Crusades? Or what are the Crusades?
Yeah, they are like an army that the Western Europe sent.
Yes. Roman sent in order to gain control over the city of
Jerusalem.
yes, Jerusalem for the sake of Christianity. They were called the Crusades. But the Crusades, after a very long time and a very big battle with Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi, has failed. And Muslims has regained the power on the city again. The power continues to grow. Till this part, you are okay after the Roman and the empire and the start of the pilgrimage and trying to Jerusalem to control it, and then Roman have failed in crusades and Muslims started to gain the control over the city. Now Muslims are the most powerful. But the crusades has an effect on people. What was this effect? The crusades returned from east with new ideas. At the same time, the economy of Western Europe was changing. Traders and merchants began to play a bigger role in town life, and instead of only kings and noblemen, people with special skills such as metalsmiths and carpenters began to organize guilds, and guilds were not as powerful as the noblemen or church, but they helped town to grow stronger. So after the crusades, there was an effect on people because of the crusades. As I told you that in the society, people are different classes. We have the noblemen, we have the church men, and we have the kings. But after the crusades, we had two different effects. Who can tell me what are they? How did the crusades affected them? Yes, Johanna.
That they got new things for the economy.
Yes,
and
leading an economy.
And traders and merchants played a big role.
Started to play another role. So the society of the Romans was consisting of three different classes. Thank you, Hannah. Who can tell me what are they? What are the three different classes? Uta, you're here? Uta?
Miss, my internet connection was lost, so I didn't concentrate in the last part.
Uta, please concentrate. It's working now. Okay? So again, who can tell me what are the different classes were there in the society? Farah Mahla.
Kings, noblemen, and traders, carpenters, and blacksmiths.
Yes. So the traders and the merchants and the blacksmiths and so on, or people with other skills, were called what? They were called
Guild.
Guilds.
girls. Thank you very much. So we have the class of the noblemen, we have the kings, we have the men of the church, and we have the guilds. This is the end of the Roman Empire. This is the end of the history of the Roman Empire. That's all we want to know. We want to know that the Roman has invaded Western Europe. Then they become weak because of the Germanic people. Then they regain the power again after the spreading of Christianity. Then came and they have started their ritual, which is pilgrimage to Jerusalem. And they wanted to control it because of the trade and because of religious reasons. But they have launched something called crusades, but they were defeated by Muslims. But they came back with new ideas for the economy, and they have a new class in the society has grown, which is the guilds, which are people who are with the special skills or carpenters or metalsmiths. So we have noblemen, we have churchmen, we have kings, and we have the guilds. This was the end, or what do you want to know about the Roman history. After that came the war, which we called the 100-year war. What's the 100-year war? We need to know that it was in the year of 1337. France and England fought over land in France. Though that was the reason behind the 100-year war. Okay, the 100-year war was in the year of 1337. People of France and England fought over the land in France. Now, what was the developments of this war, or what happened during this war? It was a terrible plague or a terrible disease, which is called Plague Death. The plague raged in Western Europe for years, starting from the year 1347, and whole towns were wiped out. It means that a lot of people has died from this disease. So after the end of the Roman era, we have started the era of the 100-year war. What was the 100-year war between? Who can tell me it was between which countries? Adam Sadat.
Miss, what is the question again?
The connection was weak again?
لا, connection. قصدي question. What is the question?
The question was, the war of the 100th year was between which countries?
England and France.
They fought over?
They fought over the land in France, the rights to the land in France.
Yeah. And what happened during this war?
The Black Death plague raided Europe during it.
Yes. And what happened to most of the towns of Eastern Europe?
They were erased wiped out, and annihilated.
Yes, they were wiped out by the disease. Up here, what happened? The Roman Church was wealthy and had power over many aspects of society. So here we have the Roman Empire, the Roman Catholic Church. It's not the Roman Empire now. After the 100-year war, the Roman Catholic Church was wealthy and was very rich and had power. So many people wanted to reform or to change the church practices, such as the sale of indulgences or the pardons for people's sin. So the Roman Catholic Church was very rich and very powerful. And they had practices which I think is still done till today, which is the practice of people's sins. If you have sin, you go to the Pope in the church and you confess. So they wanted to reform this. Okay, German priest called Martin Luther. This is a German priest. He was called Martin Luther. It's a very important character. We need to know information about it. What did Martin Luther do? He wrote the 95 Theses, which is a document attacking this practice. He didn't like the practice of confessing your sins. In Christianity, there is a practice. What's this practice? Whenever you do something wrong, you go to the church and you confess. Okay? This practice was done back then, and I guess it's still done till today. The German priest, which is called Martin Luther, didn't like this practice, and he wrote something called the 95 Theses to attack this practice. So again, before I go further, after the end of the 100-year war, who has the power? Who has the power in Western Europe? Who can tell me? Who has the power in Western Europe? Hannah Hani?
The Muslims.
No. In Western Europe, not in journalism, the Roman Catholic Church. Who has the power?
The Roman Catholic Church.
Yes, it is the Roman Catholic Church. But because the Roman Catholic Church in Western Europe, I'm not talking about the Islamic parts now. Because of the Roman Catholic Church was wealthy, and at the same time had power, people wanted to reform or to change some practices which are done inside the church. What was this practice? Anyone knows what was this practice?
Confession of sins.
Yes, thank you very much. The confession of sins. Actually, people in Christianity, and I guess this practice is still now, whenever you have a sin or something wrong you did, you go to the church and you start confessing. So people wanted to change this, especially a very important priest was called Martin Luther. What did Martin Luther do? What did Martin Luther do? He
wrote documents attacking
this practice. What's the name of this document? Yani had
95 Theses.
Yes, 95 Theses. It is a document to attack this practice. Actually, what happened after that? That the church expelled Luther. They kicked him out for his beliefs and his ideas. But although he was kicked out, his ideas has spread all over and his followers became known as Lutherans. So he had followers. This religious movement has started, it's called Protestant Reformation. So here I will have a question which is called state some facts about the Protestant Reformation. State some facts about the Protestant Reformation. Who can tell me some facts about the Protestant Reformation? Well, I will start asking myself. Protestant Reformation. Bomika? Bomika, you have a problem with your mic? Bomika, you have a problem with your mic? Hannah Yasser. Okay, Hannah Yasser. I guess Bomika has a problem. Hannah Yasser?
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
tell me what's meant by the Protestant Reformation or how does it start?
It was started by the Christian Church, and it had weakened England and its power holders, and because they were forced to share their power with the new lawmaking body called the Parliament. Miss, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but this is another part. The Catholic Church power weakened. England kings were being forced to share power with the lawmaking body called Parliament. It's a new, different part. No.
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
Okay, the Protestant Reformation started with the Roman Catholic Church, was wealthy and had all the power. But people wanted to change some practices from the church, which is the confessions of sins. A German priest came, his name was Martin Luther, and he wrote a document called 95 Theses. But he was kicked out of the church or expelled from the church for his beliefs, but he has some followers which are known as the Lutherans. This religious movement is called the Protestant Reformation. So can you repeat it again? What's meant by the Protestant Reformation?
The Protestant Reformation started from the Roman Catholic Church because many of them, they wanted to change their practices, and so a German priest
exactly one practice. What was it?
Sale of indulgences for pardons for people's sins, like their sins.
The confession.
And then Martin Luther, he was a German priest. He wrote the 95 Theses. It was a document about attacking that practice.
Yes.
And then the church expelled him for his thoughts and beliefs because but then his ideas circulated, and his followers became known as Lutherans, and that's how the Protestant Reformation started.
So this is very important question. What's meant by the Protestant Reformation? Okay, after that, the Catholic Church power weakened, and the England kings were being forced to share their power with a new lawmaking body called the Parliament. After this part, and after the era of the Protestant Reformation, the Catholic Church power weakened, and England kings were asked to share their lawmaking body with something called the Parliament. The Parliament was made of two houses, the House of Lords, which represents the noblemen, and the House of Commons, which represent the common citizens, usually guilds members and business owners. So after the weekends of the Catholic Church came something, people asked to share the lawmaking with in something called the Parliament. What does the Parliament consist of? It consists of two houses, the House of Lords and the House of Commons. Of course, House of Lords will represent the nobles, and the House of Commons will represent the common citizens, usually guilds members and business owners. Up till now, it's okay, it's done. And after that, what happened in the Catholic Church, and then the discovery of the Parliament, and now people have the ability to join in the Parliament in order to gain power. That's it for the lesson today. I won't go further. I will continue the lesson on Sunday in the school, and I upload a video at the same time for the online students. Anyone wants to ask anything about the last part?
No, thank you.
Anyone wants to ask? Abdullah, Abu Talib, Sadat, Uta?
No, thank you.
Okay, please, what I want from you till Sunday is to make a timeline. Physical student will give it to me or send it to me through email. Online students, the same. Please make a timeline from the beginning of the events till you reach the part of the Parliament. Make your own timeline with the years, please, including all the events from the start of early people till you reach the part of the Parliament, when people now can join in making the laws. Okay, I will be waiting for the timeline, for your timeline. Your due date will be Sunday. Then we'll continue this timeline after I finish the lesson on Sunday in the school, inshallah.
Sunday or Tuesday?
No, the first draft will be on Sunday. The second one will be on Tuesday, because we'll continue the lesson on Sunday. Then you'll continue your draft, and I will receive all the drafts by Tuesday. But start, please, this weekend, start your first draft. Start writing your own timeline for the history of Western Europe, starting from the beginning till you reach the part of the Parliament. and I will give you details in a document which I will upload after I end my online day. I will tell you, you will reach which page in the PowerPoint. You will reach till this page I am sharing. After the Protestant Reformation, I want the appearing of the parliament and who can join in the parliament. Okay, that's the last thing I explained today. Do not forget your quiz will cover chapter 11, lesson 1 and 2. It will be online on Thursday, inshallah. Yeah, let's see you, inshallah. Stay safe. Have a nice weekend. And see you, inshallah, on Sunday in the school. And if you need anything, we have an extra care session on the same day for online students. Please join it if you need to ask anything. Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye.